All right, let's see. Test, test, test. All right, let's see. Right. All right, so do a quick sound check. I think I can hear myself coming through, so I think you guys should be able to hear me as well. Oops, I forgot to change this. Let's do this to Tuesday. Set that there. I was trying to set up that little contest that I was talking about. So let me actually drag that window down so you guys can see it. So this is what I was setting it up to. Will the euro be under 111.00 when chart school starts tomorrow? Okay. Again, where we're at right now with the euro, we are at 110.92 or 93ish, depending on where your brokerage is. So the question is, will we be down 111? So basically, option is yes. Option is 2. Minimum bet. Let's do 5. Maximum bet, we'll do 100. Okay. All right. So I don't know what's going to happen. Everything may go boom when I hit this button, but we'll see what it's going to do. All right. Let's see. You should be able to do. Let's see. Let's figure out what it's going to do first. Hold on. Ready? Create and start. Bam. There we go. Okay. Oh, there it goes. It tells you. You do I bet. It says win or lose. It would be yes or no. So you would do, if you think the euro is going to be above, no, if you think it's going to be below, then obviously you would do, let's see. I got to check the chart again. Hang on. Ow, 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 ow. Hold on one sec. The cat decided to come in here and thinks it's hold on one sec. All right, there we go. Yeah, so you don't have to answer this one right now. Sorry, the cat's like a 22-pound cat and decided that it wanted to use my lap, and it has claws. And I was like, nope, nope, nope. All right, so the way you do it is you would hit exclamation point bet, obviously win or lose, and then you would pick a number, and that's how much you want to bet. And remember, the betting does use your pip chips up, but if you win, what it does is it takes the pool and uses that pool. All right. So with that being said, let me I'm gonna log another account in real quick, and then that way we can kind of test this out. Like I said, it's just a test. It's something small. Okay. I could hear you peeling off the phone. Yeah. I mean, I love her, I do, but she's like, nope. She's one of these cats that like has a sense of entitlement. It's like I can't handle that, you know. All right, so let's see here. Um, She's like, nope. She's one of these cats that like has a sense. That one has sound on it. All right, so let's see. If we do exclamation point bet, I'm gonna say yes. 5. Oh, it says win or lose. Okay. Hold on. Let's see. Hold on. Let me close contest. Let me get a different one real quick. It's not win or lose. Let's do above, and command would be below. Option 1 would be above 111. And this would be below 1 dot duration. Say, there we go. All right. There we go. I think that one makes sense now. My risk reward ratio for the bet doesn't work because I only got like 10 salty pip chips. Actually, Josh, if you were to bet 1 and say you said below and everybody else said above, then you could take all of their pip chips. There we go. James just figured it out. So there, bet, what did I say? Under? Or no, it's below 10. There we go. All right, so again, we'll see how this all kind of plays out. This could work out really, really well, or it could not work out really, really well. I guess we will see. um, no, I think it'll be fun. So we'll figure this one out. So we can start doing these. And with that being said, also, let me do another giveaway. Let's do mega salty pip chips. And description will be same thing. Mega salty pip chips with guac. There we go. Everyone gets a free ticket on that one. And again, you guys know how to do that one as well. All right. We will put that one out there. And that one should work as well. Mega salty pip chips. Remember, for that one, guys, you do exclamation point ticket. And that will get you your free ticket. And again, if you wanted to purchase more, it would be exclamation point ticket and then I guess 10. I think that one is how it works. But you guys get a free one. So might as well just do a free one that one since I'm giving you free pip chips anyway. All right. Right there. So bam, contest in, giveaway in, and we're 7 minutes in. All right, so let's just jump in here, guys. And girls, if there's any of them out there. I can see all you guys adding here. Look at this. Look. Bam. Get in there. Get in there. Look at that. Look at that. All right. You guys may not be gamblers now, but I'm going to have you turned into gamblers by the time this is all over, right? You'll be like, man, I got them. You guys are going to be sitting with all your trading friends and be like, yeah, I got like 250 pip chips the other night, and I won the giveaway and the contest. And what I want to see is going to happen is if Carl comes in again at the very, very end, guys, and he puts in like an above or below and ends up making on bank again. I'm teaching you how to blow up your accounts, right? Yeah. Yeah, James is the high roller over there. He's going to be, James. So wait, here's a big question. What does it do? Let's see here. Okay, so it's still, I guess technically it does, I don't know when this updates, but I guess technically you still hold them until you don't have them. So I don't know, we'll figure it out on the current, the board. Ooh, Will has been dethroned, by the way. Actually, it does take him away right away. Okay, there we go. All right, so going in today, last night I warned you guys that it probably wasn't going to be the biggest day. Again, there really was no news. We had a little bit of CAD manufacturing data. And again, it was good CAD news, right? I mean, the forecast was, it was better than, expected. It wasn't as bad as they thought it was going to be, and the CAD was still down slightly. Tonight is even worse than what we had yesterday, right? I mean, last night at least the pound yen was, I think it had moved 20 or 25. It's only a difference of 3 today, right? And the CAD yesterday was a difference of 60. Well, now it's only, minus 14, right? Again, a little bit of a retracement. We had, in the Aussie yen today. Obviously, this is all up. But again, there was obviously not sure how that happened. Will, I don't know. Maybe he got in here first today. I'm not sure. But he's up by 2, so he's been on for 10 minutes longer than you. He came in and stole it from you. Pound dollar is basically the only thing that's even moved much today. So, yeah, so we'll dive into charts and we'll kind of see what we can find. So let's kind of go back. I know a couple of you guys were able to catch some things on smaller time frames. Ernest had a play, I guess, today in the dollar Swiss. Very, very small movement in the dollar Swiss, but, again, that's one of the things with Nadex. If you get a couple pip moves, you get some money out of it. It's not too bad. So, again, Aussie yen, pretty much flatlined right here, right? I was here at 855. Will's like, I want to recount. Take out the paper, the chits or whatever those things were in Florida. I want a manual recount. It's wrong. This technology, it's wrong. I don't know. Maybe you jumped off before he got off last night, Will, and I left it on longer. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. So again, obviously super flat day. The green is engulfed inside of the red. Not a lot of movement, right? We do have some news. Actually, I guess the news has already kicked in for tonight. We don't have anything until tomorrow for the Aussie even. So again, are we in a trendy market? No, it's like an ultra consolidated market, top to bottom. Again, we had the Sunday gap, and it's really just kind of bounced back and down, going to the initiation. Look even down in a 30-minute. Obviously we had this kind of push to the bottom side, and again, it was kind of basing back and forth, right? I mean, you had a level here, a level here, a level here, a level here. Went a little bit lower, but for the most part, it's really been based on the one side, right? On top and bottom. And again, a little bit of movement, but nothing that I would scream and be like, yep, that's nice. Really, really nice. Even with the gap candle, right? I mean, the gap candle went up to here, and again, it went to the same area, right? Again, we could have drawn potentially something here, right? And said, oh, wait a second, there was the high. Okay, and again, it's hit here, but I mean, you barely even got a 1-to-1 risk to reward ratio on that one. So really nothing, again, nothing that you could sit there and scream and say, hey, this is amazing. Again, I'm sure there are people that were trying to get into that summer special for. I haven't redeemed my coupon yet for it, but for the Top Step summer promotion, if this was the first week that you were trading in, good luck with this kind of stuff. This is just not really the best. The best stuff here. So we'll see. Yeah, only making money, right? Yep, sideways, right? I was on early today too. Someone is salty. Love it, love it. Salt shakers everywhere. We're gonna have to figure out like a tequila one and a lime one too. So again, for this pair, there's really nothing. I don't really have any trade setups that I absolutely love. I mean, on the 4 hour, there's just really junk, right? I mean, little area here, but we got you got a little bit of a piece here, which is just really the retest off of this area, right? That was the entry from this kind of pop, right? Really, that's kind of all we got right now. Would be this down here as far as the buying area. Top side, a lot of wick. Don't really see anything I love really the top. So I mean, this is about the only thing. And we mentioned this last night, and it was slowly starting to grind, but nothing, right? So looking at Aussie New Zealand, let's see what we got over here. All right, so Aussie New Zealand, it did have again, we pulled back and then kind of drove forward again. So, looking 19 right here, this is the candle where we were last night. So we did get a little bit of a pop. It did pull down again. So this one has moved slightly, okay? One thing that we did talk about, we were trying to see if we can get this to grind up a bit farther and get into this top selling zone. We've gotten rather close, right? If we extend this across, hopefully that didn't move too much. There we go. Haven't quite made it there yet. Getting close though, right? We have about what? This is 73. We got about 18, 19 more pips to go to the top side on this one, although it's had some problems, right? Last time on the 30-minute, again, you guys can see that little peak here. It kind of came and went sideways, right? And then kind of pushed down. Ran into this, and this is kind of funny. So look at this. So again, there's a level basing there. Whoops. You had this other level basing right here, right? That it kind of ran into. You had this kind of level of basing right here, right? Same kind of situation. So, not really a lot in this, I mean, I guess there was a little tiny bit of a play. Okay, so again, when this was red here, we did have a downtrend setup situation, which is what this piece was. Now, again, you would have had to been sitting here for a while because it spent a lot of time going sideways before it dropped down. And again, had you used this kind of first little area here, obviously the risk to reward is very, very small in that one. Okay, but again, it did base, it did pop, so again, technically valid, right? You would have had the ability to go in for something like this, which obviously is a better zone. Why? Because it spent very, very little time here versus this spent what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, almost 8 candles it spent in the same exact area, meaning this was considered a very, very low probability zone because it's been there for a long time, right? So in this case, had this bottom area been something for you, you still wouldn't have gotten any entry off of it. That was really your best hope at really anything. Even over here, I don't think we would have got much. Yeah, I mean, you really even using 4 hour 30-minute, there's not really a whole lot there because again, bad zone as well. And again, we're kind of approaching this bad zone, so I don't see it turning and all of a sudden tanking back down to the downside. So even when it's a downtrend setup, really just nothing to grab onto. Like I said, best thing is here, or best thing was here. But if you're looking at this again, spent too much time there and just don't really love any of it. So again, really not much, but a little bit higher. I will start to be look for shorts. I do think this larger daily zone will be an area that'll be interesting. Again, it's driven through pushback, and now we finally pushed up, right? Because it came down, came back. Again, nice push through. We've cleared a lot of the junk that's down here, and it'd be nice to kind of start chopping down on this. And again, I'd be looking for profit targets back down into this 105 area. Okay, would be my eventual kind of profit target. All right, looking at the Aussie dollar. Yeah, Aussie dollar did nothing. Stayed exactly inside of the same area again. Even on the 4 hour. Again, higher low, lower high, flat. And again, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So 16 hours it hasn't moved. And again, you guys can see the very, very narrow range that it's in. It did kind of come to the bottom of this level. Again, that would have been super early on Monday morning, but really, again, since where we were last night, not much going on here either. Okay, and again, looking for a trending market, this is not considered trending. This is obviously just sideways. Let's see, even top to bottom. Let me see how much we would have been able to pull from this one. Yeah, it's only if you take the farthest reaches, we're only talking about 40 pips, right? If you're talking about the channel that it has been stuck in, you're talking about a 12 pip channel for the last, what, 14 hours? So, not a lot of potential in this one, guys. And it is what it is. Okay. Even on the 4 hour, I don't mind this area down here. I do like this way, the way this was formed. It did bounce off a wick over wick here. So again, it did come down. It did shoot back up again and then went sideways and kind of popped. So that could be, this could be an area that we're looking to. I'll remove that because again, we know how narrow the channel is. This could be something I'm looking at if we get inside of that area. Top side, it's probably up at this gold area. Again, that trigger right there. Really just nothing in this one. Not loving it. Okay. Pound Aussie. All right, let's see what we got here. This one's a little bit different. Okay, we are in this upper zone. Okay, we did finally come back and breach it. So this one did have some movement over the last 8 hours. It did kind of come down. It hit the last area, almost this green target, shot up, and it is in an area where we could be looking for sellers. Again, you guys can see it has pushed up. We were in an uptrend setup, right? And again, there was orders down here at the bottom you could have grabbed. It does look like it came across and snagged from the very, very bottom here. Okay, so again, there was one bit of a valid entry if you were looking to get into this one. Okay, and again, we're at 21 here. That would have triggered about 7 a.m. this morning. Okay, so that's about the only thing we have lined up here. As far as a short goes at this point, you do have a red, green, red in here, and that red, green, red is basically on this candle. Let's drop down to a 10-minute and see. It's a lot harder to look at on this one. How much space we got on this? It's about 26 pips to the top side. This is what I don't like. Let's see on 15 if we can get a little bit better view of this one. Yeah, that's a legitimate base. I was hoping that this once we went up like 1 or 2 time frames here, that this would disintegrate, but it's not a bad base at all. I think that's going to be a bit of a hiccup in there. And again, we talked about this last night. We do have the wick over wick on the daily, so not a bad area. And that's the area here. And we talked about there was the one touch here. Okay. Again, you've had multiple options to go through with this one, right? Here. Again, this last push was really the nicest one down to this zone. Again, what I'd be looking to do is try to take over basically somewhere in this vicinity. Kind of trying to take over this is what I'd be looking to kind of retrace back and forth on. It's not a bad little run to the downside. Yeah, it's about 122 pips to the downside. So actually not a horrible area. So I mean, if again, we do have a red, green, red that occurred on the 30-minute. I mean, it hasn't completed yet, but you're basically looking at something along these lines of about 25 pip risk, right? 25, 26. That would take you above the high here. Again, if it breaks out of the high, then again, it's up in the area. And again, taking this to the downside would be, oops, cancel. Move this. Would be along the lines of something like that. Now, again, this would be one I'd probably use multiple targets as well. I'd probably put one there, and then one would be here. Okay, would be what I'd be looking for. Take captive position off. And again, you're looking at about, again, you could round it to 50 pips. 50 pips would be fine in that zone. It's right now it's set. Yeah, so 50 is right there. Right there. So again, yeah, that would be fine to take it from there. 25, 26 pip risk now. 50 on your first target. Move your stop loss to break even. 120 for your second one. Wouldn't be a horrible trade setup. Okay, the risk to reward ratio does make sense on that one. Yeah, that wouldn't be bad. Okay. That's probably the best we got on this one right now. Let's change this to green. Apply green. There we go. And again, the reason why we're getting rid of this kind of uptrend is because, again, yes, it is an uptrend. I know I'm looking to short here, but again, it is inside of a 4-hour zone. It's been respected multiple times, and it's only pierced the zone very briefly. Had you taken the smaller zone, right, and extended it across from the body, you can see, again, that's where the peak, it actually did hit the peak this time. So it's, much smaller zone. You guys can see off the top. Okay. Now, had you taken it off the top, it is obviously a better trade. The risk is smaller, right? But again, if you're looking for a confirmation, technically your confirmation entry would have occurred here. Okay, that would have been your risk inside of this if you'd taken a red, a green, and a red to the downside. And again, it's spent a lot of time in here. You've basically, from a confirmation entry, you would have been kind of back and forth, taking a little bit of heat, not really a whole lot. Worst case scenario, 13 pips. Would not have gotten stopped out. But again, everything is telling you that it is still there to the downside. Okay. Looking at euro pound. Okay. So euro pound actually did come up and actually did tag our zone. Again, that hit on Tuesday, 7 a.m. this morning. Okay. Remember we're using, guys, this gold bar, right? This 9161 we're using as an alert to get into this position. Now, I think it was Ryan. I believe it was Ryan that took this position earlier, or tried to take this position earlier, and didn't set his charts correct, or his thing correctly, and didn't actually get entered into this trade. But again, you do have the ability in this one to set and forget it. But if you don't hit the submit button, it doesn't work. Okay, so again, this one did hit the top side, and it came back and did hit our profit target. So again, this would have been a valid trade setup from last night. Nice entry in this one too. Okay, this was about a 60 pip runner, and again, the risk in this trade was about 13. So not a bad risk to reward ratio on the setup. I tried. Yeah, I mean, it was legitimate. Again, it's definitely a set and forget possibility in this one, right? Okay, and again, we'd marked that zone off. It wasn't a bad zone. It did come up. It did touch. Nice rally up. Nice entry. I love when this is the entry. So you took almost no heat in this trade at all. But was yours the same 13 pip risk for about 60 gain, 61 gain? And actually, I guess it wouldn't have been 60. Hold on. Profit target would have been there. It would have been slightly less. It would have been about 55. Was yours the same exact thing, Ryan? I feel like it was. And again, it was green. It was a downtrend setup into a 4-hour, and then we refined it here, and it went down to hit our profit target. Yeah. Again, 13 for 57. Yeah, it's pretty nice. Waiting for Ryan. Roughly, yeah. I deleted the drawing on my chart already. Hold on. Somebody give Ryan a salty, because obviously he's like, I deleted it. It's dead to me now. I don't need it. Ryan, why would you delete it off your chart already? If that zone is still valid. Look how much that zone pierced. It only pierced a very, very small amount. So is that 4-hour zone still valid? Yeah, that zone is absolutely still valid. It's only been touched one time. This is number 2. Why are you deleting it off your charts? My kids would call that being triggered. And Ernest, did you get one off this one? I feel like you got some off this as well. Yeah, I feel like you got something out of this one also. But again, I could be wrong. But yeah, so it was a great setup. Again, downtrend setup. Again, we talked about it last night. 4-hour down. Use this for your risk, and you're good to go. Okay, where we're at right now, obviously, it's just kind of more or less flatline. It's the bottom of the curve. We're looking more for kind of for long positions. Again, it isn't a downtrend though. We are ending somewhat of a racetrack, but there are wicks over here. Well, I mean, it's only pierced about 30% of the way through the zone. So yeah. Typically, Ryan, you talk about being fresh and things like that when you get to the, I'd say, third retest. I mean, obviously, is it as good as the first retest? No, not necessarily. But one thing that we do know that we didn't know for the first retest is there's definitely buyers there. Or in this case, sellers, right? Because think about it. You can draw your zone there, and if price just blew through that area, right? What does it mean is in this area? it meant that there was nothing in the area, right? No orders to stop it. But it did pierce just briefly and shot back down again. So the only reason why that price stopped going up, right, was because there was somebody pushing this back down again, right? Basically, what happened is nobody's willing to buy it anymore. So what do they have to do to get rid of their orders? They had to drop the price. Okay, so there was nobody else was buying. So we know that this is a magical port. That this is that is an area that there's no more buyers, right? There's nobody to drive this price higher, right? Because sellers, they can make the price whatever they want, but for the transaction as a record, someone has to be on the other side of the trade, right? So yes, this is a selling area. Why? Because there are no buyers. You don't want to get stuck here because there's nobody to take it from you. If that makes sense. Okay, so again, one thing we do know is yes, it's not fresh, but we know there's definitely somebody up here. Okay, so if you wanted to shrink this area, you could shrink it up to here, but I would just say just leave it. It's a very small area anyway. It's only 13 pips. Let's not get too greedy. If you get too greedy, you do in earnest where it was like, oh, I'm risking 3 pips on this trade. And then the spread takes you out and it goes exactly where you thought it would go to. Okay, so again, think flat line on the bottom side. At this point, I'd be kind of looking. There is ascending wicks here, so I would be cautious about anything a little bit lower. I think we're going to be in a little bit of a trap situation. Again, you guys can see the spike here, little piece here, little spike here. So there is something still sitting over here a little bit. So I'd be cautious, I think, on this one to the downside right now. I would like it to see it drive farther, though. And again, we get those, the French and the European data on Thursday, right? When we go to this day on Thursday, I would love this thing to drop through the floor. I would like it to go all the way back down here to 90, and I think that would be great for this pair and set up a lot of trading opportunities for us. If you can do it in one or two candles, I'd be really excited because then I can play retracements. But like I said, I think tomorrow is also going to be slow. There's no data for these two countries. Again, looking at the 4 hour, the top zone, we have here the bottom zone. It's a nasty there's a little trap down here. Because people are like, oh, right here, right here, right here. But there's a little bit of a zone below this that hasn't been touched yet. So there still is a little bit of a buying area, but not much. Yeah. I wish there was a little bit of a basing area right here. I'd like for this to pull back and grab a base, but it's just not there. It did form a little bit of a base here, right? You see this little green candle? So if price pulls back down and then starts having some problems, this will be an area, again, if it does nothing but go down now, one thing I do like about this is descending candles. You see that this green one is up here and then the red one is down. So this is a pretty nice valid area. Now, it's a little bit premature to start drawing it right now, but that could be a potential little area right there that it pulls back to. Make sense? Okay. Howell's waiting to clear 109 first. You're waiting to clear 9088. 9088 down here. Let's see. What do we got at 9088? Yeah, understand, Ernest, this is going to be a support and resistance area. Okay, because this is a low in this racetrack, most likely what's going to happen is there's going to be people that have a lot of sell orders right at that point, right? Because again, support and resistance sees that and says, oh, there's a low there. So as soon as it goes below that, what they're going to do is they're going to short and put their stop loss just on the other side of this bar. So if you're looking for it to do this, look for a break and then a retest up. And again, ideally, this comes down at bases and then it pushes through, or any type of base right above. That's where the stop losses are going to be. That's where they're going to be hidden. So like when you hear people saying, oh, they're going to run stops, yeah, they're going to run stops all right to wherever this basing level is. This is too high, but if it bases down here, wait for a punch through, hit, and then go short in the racetrack. Okay, but we got a bit to go before we get there. We're talking about 100 pips or so to the downside. All right, looking at euro yen. All right, so euro yen didn't really do as much. The last pair was a little bit better. Again, a bit of a drop down, pulled right back up again. You guys can see we're still flaunting. Every time it hits this area and kind of drives further, again, we're getting kind of a little bit higher lows, but every time it hits this daily blue zone, right? Okay. Every time it hits this zone, it's sucking more and more orders out. Okay. So that is the one good thing for us. That is just taking more and more orders out. Problem is, it's not really super tradable either. Look at the size of these bodies. This one did pop and then came right back down. This one went low and came back up again. And again, this is just a mirror replay, right? Up and back, down and back. Okay, so not really too, nothing that screams trending, right? Now, again, this pair will absolutely be affected by the Germany and the French data. This is going to be a pure euro play. You could play with euro dollar, but again, those economies also have some link with the US dollar. The yen is obviously going to be the weaker of the pairs, and that's typically going to be the one to play it against. So, again, Thursday morning, play this one. Euro dollar, a little bit different in scenario, right? That last one was basing on that area. This one has come back down and again has stabilized for the last 3 days. And it's formed a little bit of a, an up and down point, right? Little channel here, came back up again, came over up, and then again pushed back down again. Oh, somebody just did something. I don't know if you guys can see it. It popped on mine, but it got cut off a little bit. I saw the little dancing man. Just FYI, I saw the dancing man. And again, whoever the dancing man is that just got in, make sure you guys get into the contest. Do the hashtag ticket to get your ticket. Again, very much sideways, very much trending. Again, we did just kind of bounce off this top area as well, just by a little bit. Yeah, I heard the ding too, and there was a little dancing man here, but it was cut off, so I'm going to have to fix that on the overlay. But I did see it too. It was there. I don't know if I can move it. No, I can't move it from inside of here. All right. Trying to figure out, let's see, 4-hour window. It bounced off the area that we thought it would. Again, Ernest, this is very similar, same type of trap. 1, 2. Honestly, this is the best looking thing right here. This little racetrack up and racetrack down. That's the best thing I see on this chart. And it's only 14 pips. Man, this one doesn't have a lot in there either. Trying to think, would I continue to sell off this area? All right, so this is not a horrible area. All right. Okay, we got one little area right there, which is not horrible. Okay. I think I like this area a little bit better as kind of a second option. Let me kind of extend that out a bit more because it's going to be a while before it gets there. So that would be another option that would not be horrible. Just because, again, nice push through. It did bounce off of an area of what we thought it would, right? It pulled back. It kind of formed like a nice little base area and then launched itself off again. So that's definitely an area where we need to mark off for sellers in the future. I think downside, where would I put something? Probably down here. I can think of. Again, not even the best area. Those are probably the two that I'd be looking at for some type of a new spike. This would be something more on the short term. Again, it's respecting that pretty well. You guys can see it graced just off the very, very bottom side of that on the 4-hour. All right, so this is a little bit premature, but this is what I'd be setting up, I think, for Thursday. I'd be looking at this as a top zone for a bounce, and this for a top zone as a bounce. It looks like we have about 50 pips down and about 50 pips up. Okay, so if price is able to maintain this area, which I don't think it's going to go higher, I think this area will cap it to where if it tries to go up, it will push it back down again. I hate to say this, but I would like this thing not to move tonight. I'd like to have this in the same exact spot for tomorrow. So going into Thursday morning with the French and German economic data, what that does is that gives us a retracement opportunity for a spike up into this zone and then sell here, or a spike down into this zone for a buy. Okay, so again, you're looking for either this or this, and then again, that's where you're taking the up and the down. So you'd be going up there and down from that area. I'll fix them. So that or that is what I'm kind of looking for on Thursday. All right. I think that would be probably the best option for this one right now, if that makes sense. Welcome, Carl. And Carl, if you do exclamation point contest, it will also give you an information. So we have a giveaway and a contest tonight. We have both. Or if somebody wants to type in exclamation point contest for them, so it's there. see what Carl has to say. And again, right now, where is it? It's at 110.94, so it's only moved like 1 or 2 pips. Will I win the next game? Oh no, it messed it up. Hold on. Where is it? Contest. Oh, it's not supposed to say, will I win the next game? All right, so the question is, Carl, will the euro tomorrow, right before chart school, okay? So I'm going to look at it just as we start chart school tomorrow. Will the euro be above 1.1100 or will it be below 1.1100? Said it's good money management. You can ask to risk more than 50% of your pip chips. Hey, I never said what you guys can bet, and it's not like you paid money for them. Come on. Hashtag give salty chips. No, that command doesn't work yet, Ryan. But basically, Carl, what it is right now, 60% of people say that tomorrow when we start chart school that the price of the euro is going to be above 111. 40% of the people say that it's going to be below 111. Now, everybody that bets, right now, currently, there is 125 pip chips inside of this thing. And again, I'll close it down early, but right now, there is 125 pip chips in there. So it looks like 3 people have picked this and 2. So right now, if it's below, these 2 winners will split the 125 pip chips between the 2 of them. So they'll each receive, 62 and a half or 62 or whatever. So if you want above, the way that you do it is you do exclamation point. It's exclamation point bet above. You guys can see out right here? This. Just type this in. Hashtag bet above and how many pip chips you want to throw into this bad boy. You just type that in. Okay? So right now, it's looking like everybody believes it's going to be above. How do you have only... Carl, did you come in and spend all your pip chips? So, Carl, it looks like you can't do it right now. I don't know how you must have spent them already. It's okay. Bet the farm. All right, you're getting owned. I can actually look to see what the leaderboard looks like. Let's see. You just got owned by... you have 5. So you must have spent 10 already, because I thought I gave you them. I gave them last night. Here. I'll give you 5. There you go. So you have 10 now. So if you want to do bet now, you can bet 10. Okay? But that's going to be the contest. And 10 is the minimum bet, by the way. All right? All right. I don't have enough pit chips. One bet above. Yeah, Carl, do exclamation point bet above and then 10. See if that works for you. Today is the training day because obviously, There you go. Good. He's in. Nice. Got it. See, we got to teach you these things. Now you guys are ready to go. All right, so that's where we are with euro dollar. I'm looking really for it to kind of be flat here. If it does close right here, those 2 guys are making bank tomorrow. There'll be a lot of pip chips and there'll be a lot of salty people as well for that one. And you did the Carl, you did the exclamation point ticket, right? I'll remind everybody at the end for that giveaway. I'll give away another 10. All right, so let's jump into Euro Aussie. All right, so Euro Aussie. Aussie didn't move much. Euro didn't move too much, and this pair did nothing. Okay. It looks like there was a little spike up, a little bit of retracement in here, just kind of this little hump right here. It's at a level of basing right now, nothing that I love. Again, on the daily, really just literally straight went sideways, right? Little pop, little bit down. Again, 21. I mean, this is where we were last night, and it's already started to push back through again. So, little bit of a downplay. I don't know. Did anybody take this last night? This is where we were last night in this area. Okay. Right in here. I don't know if anybody got in this one or not. It was a bit of a downtrend setup. Right now, it's nothing. Unfortunately, it's at a level of basing. It's not even close to the top side. This was a very slow starter to get out of there, and I wouldn't take a long off this right now either. Okay, got it. Yep. Is that a? Okay. All right. So again, sideways movement. Aussie didn't move. Euro didn't move. Again, this will be another pair that will move on Thursday morning. We'll see with what this one is able to do. All right. Let's go over to pound yen. Okay, pound yen, again, very, very small day for this one, too. It's moved 11 pips in 24 hours. You'll see there is a bit of a movement. It's, it's not coming in at zeros. It's not doing like, what the dollar CAD is doing. So again, what that means is typically there was some movement. And again, there was, okay? There was this drop down, and then there was the retracement back up again. So, again, here we are right now at 21.30. And if we go back, you guys can look at 21.30, which is right here, okay? We are almost in exactly the same exact spot, okay? Quick drop. Again, that was the early morning drop. European session starting, actually at midnight is when it really started to drop. Came down, 7 a.m., it peaked at its bottom and then rallied all the way back up again. So a little bit of a play in this one to be able to take. Really no trend here. Again, we did break out to the bottom. And if you look, guys, what did it run into? It ran into this level of basing, right? So, I mean, it did hit an area. To say that it was trending, that would be pretty difficult, right? Because it spent so much time here going sideways on the 4-hour. It was literally moving sideways on the daily. And again, when it was dropping down, what was it? Yes, it would have been considered an uptrend setup because you had a red candle here, and this candle obviously was red because it opened. It closed slightly above where it did here. Okay, so again, it was an uptrend setup, and it triggered at about 7 o'clock this morning. So 7 o'clock this morning was really the only time you were finding any of these trade setups. In this one, let's see what the risk was on this. So your total risk off this area was about 21 pips, 22 pips. The overall profit target would have been to take it back up to the top, and it would have been about 90. I guess you could have said 100 for it. That would have taken you kind of right in the area, but the safe play on that one would have been about 92. Would have been this. Okay. And again, early morning piece, right? Would have been there. Actually, it triggered there, and you would have been out. Basically, here you would have spent what You would have spent 2.5 hours in this trade total, to get out of it. And that would have taken you back up to the start. Now, could you refine this area a little bit? No, I wouldn't have on this one. Okay, now typically what we'll do is we'll grab the zone here, and yes, 22 is a little bit much. If you're looking for where the explosion started, yes, it started over here. So it's really, really hard on this one to really take it much kind of lower. If you wanted to, I guess if you really wanted to, you could say, okay, well, there's the original base. And you still would have entered in the trade, but you're kind of pushing a little bit. That would have been a kind of pushback and a bounce off of it. I think taking it and being a little bit more conservative with it would have been a little bit, a better option just because the way that the zone was. And again, in that case, it would have been about 22 pips. So 22 for 90, again, still over a 3-to-1. That's actually over a 4-to-1 risk to reward ratio. And all it was a quick retrace down. And again, looking at all this movement in here, would this been considered a parabolic move? Yes, straight down, didn't really pull back much, right? Again, into a level. The entry was very, very fast into a level of basing where we did have a pullback, right? And then continued right back up again. So that was about the only thing where you actually had the ability to grab on this one, okay? Again, where we are right now, we are at the top side again. We could be looking for another retracement, but again, we got to see, right? Top side, this again, we still have an alert at 130.21. Again, it's driven pretty deeply, but you are in a zone to the top side, so again, that zone would be here, right? There's your single wick, and there's your zone. Okay, and again, you guys can see that's what we're flirting up against. All right. Can't say I love this pair. I do like it more bearish than anything else at this point. But again, with the wick on the top, I couldn't tell you where the orders are. I can see it on a daily, but then it gets pretty shy and it gets pretty, like I said, it gets pretty kind of nasty over here, right? A lot harder to kind of pick that one out. A little bit too much risk for what the possible reward is for it. Okay. But again, this would have been the trade this morning, this downtrend setup on the daily 4-hour. There's your zone. Refine it if you want. Target based off the 30, basically retracing back to the top of the move. Okay. Looking at the pound dollar. Pound dollar actually did some movement. This one actually did 34. This is the big winner of the day. Okay. It went up. And again, what did this do? Similar kind of situation, right? It spiked down, not super hard. Didn't even make it to the purple, which was very, very interesting that it didn't go that far. Again, it's flaunted with this area, flaunted with this area, flaunted with this area. Put it in, kind of a higher high here. Went up, and again, a very poor kind of drop, kind of, again, basing right below the sell zone, and then a pop down again to this zone. So not even a great entry, but again, this pair can't get out of it, get out of its own way. It's got sellers here, it's got buyers here, and now it's not even making it down to the buying area. So it's kind of running out of steam. Okay. Now this will not move as much as the euro will on Thursday morning, but you will get some movement out of it. Again, I think there's still so much indecision. today I guess they were talking about how they're going to start a PR campaign to tell people that it's okay that they leave without a deal. I think people are just so absolutely clueless over there right now. They don't know what's happening with the pound. Politics is fun until it's so far over your head that you don't understand anymore. And I think that's where people are. They're like, can we just leave already? Like, we have no idea. Like, we voted for it, but we don't understand it. Like, oh, let's just do something. All right. So, you know, we'll see how that one goes. This needs to clear one of these two areas, and then I'm game. But I don't, necessarily like it at the moment. Pound New Zealand. Let's see if this one at 7 o'clock in the morning set up as well. Yeah, you had a little bit of a piece down here, but it's not really a great area. It's only like a very, very tiny speck. Again, we're pushing up. We have this gold area marked off, the 189.95 to 190.62, this kind of 50 pip range. Looking for some type of kind of entry into here and then some type of a reversal. We're getting really, really close. It's getting up there. And again, it got close, got pushed down, got close, pushed down, made another drive forward, and is now based right before the zone. Okay. It's trying to see if it can get higher. So I think this is a great little zone. Not a lot of kind of orders are being put in. There's not really a lot of kind of solid, hey, listen, here's some buy orders. We're going to support this and go higher. So again, one little pop, and then again, I think we can take this back down again. First target, probably down here. But again, we this was marked off from before. Probably in that area. It's probably not horrible. And I'll remove this for the second one. Okay. Yeah, that's probably the only thing I'm looking at. And again, the reason why is it's high on the curve, descending wicks on the daily, big burst up, retracement back again. It ground its way all the way back up. And again, not seeing a lot of anything that I would say, oh, that's a huge area. Okay. This one candle did get a little funky at 9:30 this morning with the up and the down piece of it. But nothing I'm super, super concerned about. Okay. So definitely looking for something of a short off of this top area. And again, I think we're due for that anyway. New Zealand dollar. Look at this leaderboard. FX Jones is like, I'm just going to take all the pip chips. And so is Will. Will's like, I don't understand anything. I'm not using them. And then Ernest was right there. James was right there. And then you have Ryan. Ryan's like, yo, I'm all in. I'm going crazy with this one. And Josh is like, yep, I almost have nothing. Yeah, you guys are getting down here. Poor Ty. Ty's only at 2. All right. So, movement in this one. What do you guys think? Okay. Not much, right? Not too much. Again, very, very slow day yesterday. Today, okay, we do have a buying area right below us, right? We have these ascending wicks in here. So again, we're not even able to get to that zone, and we're already starting to get higher lows, right? We have based, again, if you want to just use bodies, yes, it is lower here. It is lower here, right? We'll see what this high is a bit higher. Not horrible, but again, down, sideways, a little bit of buyers here, up, 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 up. Not a lot of direction. Again, the problem with this one last night is the area was just so small that we were talking about. So, I mean, take the last 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. I mean, we're talking about right now a range of about 15 pips. Okay, if I go high so I can see it, 17 pips. This one has been rallying for let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So for 40 hours, it's been stuck in a 17 pip range. Is it tradable? No. Okay. Dollar Swiss. I know some of you guys trade. Ernest got this one today on a 2-hour binary. Ernest, I think you hit this one twice, but again, it's such a small, I think this is the one you got, isn't it? Let me see. Trying to see. No, that was an ES trade. Yeah, Ernest, I think you got something on this one today. Yeah, it was a pipette move. Oh, here was Josh's. Oh, I'm sorry, Ryan. I threw you under the bus, and it was Josh. This was Josh's pound trade that hit his zone, went all the way down to his profit target, but he forgot to hit submit. Okay, so there's that one. Yeah, sorry, I didn't mean that one. Who was it? Somebody I swear to God, I saw this one today. Who was it? Ernest, I swear this was you. Yes, that sucks. um, I thought it was Ernest, but maybe I'm wrong. I don't know. I really thought it was him. I thought somebody had it. That'll be 100 pip just please. Just kidding. Yeah, right here. Yeah, dollar Swiss. But I thought you posted a picture of it. Yeah, you had a little 20-minute binary on this one. And like I said, again, uptrend setup situation. Okay, obviously yesterday we were basically in uptrend territory. Where is there a great zone in here? There's not really. You know, um, that was in Nadex. Okay, so it was the only one that I didn't look at. Oh, here you go. Yeah, I was trying to figure out what chart you were looking at on. I was like, I know it's in here somewhere. You're doing it over here, right? Yeah, 10. So you're doing it off this zone. So obviously you drew it off of this guy, right? Yep. There you go. Right at 9:45. So this was also a pip trade that he missed on the top side. Okay, and again, okay, so there's a couple things on this one. So this, okay, you guys can see this is where he had to set up, and that's where he had his green arrow. He had an arrow here, right? That's where he had his arrow. Honestly, I like the first one better. I think you took both of them. I think that one is good. Okay, I like that one better because the entry really kind of collapsed into it. Let's see the second one here. Man, that's a bit of a risky trade though on that one. That second one. You only had 9 pips on that one. That second one. Yeah, the second one was kind of like, whoo, a little dangerous. But again, they're only 7 pips apart, so again, you didn't really need too much movement. I mean, this is only 11. Like you said, you're playing with very, very small amounts in this one, you know? But again, you're talking about the small, 2-hour binaries, you're moving like over a strike, you know? Why is price going quickly into a zone, a better entry? Great question, Josh, because it's momentum driving it in there. So entry and exit are 2 important areas. So when you're setting up something like a rally, like kind of sideways, like, rally base and then like another rally out of it, it's better to have, let's see if I can find an example here. Okay. Like a zone that spends like this, although it dropped quickly, okay, this is a better exit than this. Okay, even though it moved the same number of, say it moves the same number of pips, because it did it in 1 or 2 candles, it is more powerful than this going ding, 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 right? Same thing. When you have something that pops up like this, turns and flips right back down again, that spent no time in a level, excellent, right? Versus something like this, where yes, this was a base at the top and it kind of turned and went down slowly. It's showing you there's not a lot of power behind it. So the more power, the faster it will move. And again, that typically signifies more orders. Like when you get slapped with like, $100,000 order, when price hits here, man, the price reacts fast to shoot out of it. When it's 1 or 2, orders trickling in, it's kind of like, yep, it'll go ding, 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 versus a huge block of orders. And remember, it's big money that moves this, okay, not small money. So the bigger the money in there, the bigger the reaction off of it. That's why the movement matters as much, okay? Why would you level the body and not the bottom of the wick and include the wick in the risk? Hold on, I'm trying to understand this. Going to the chart, why would you level the body and not the bottom of the wick and include the wick in the risk? So James, there's different ways to do it. You can take the entire wick bottom to wick top, and that's the most risk, right? You can take the intermediary, but again, and that'll give you the most, that'll give you the most entries, right? Because it's the biggest area. Of course, you're going to have the most entries, but you have the most risk. The intermediary is the distal wick, right? The farthest point from where away from price to the bottom or bottom or top of the body, and that's the intermediary. It gives you moderate risk and moderate entries. Or you could take not the body at all, just the up, the wick on the far side. And again, least amount of entries, but the least amount of risk. So most people take the intermediate one. That seems to be the one that's the most favorable. But again, it's just a different risk level is all it is. So you could technically, if you wanted to take the whole thing, you could. Okay. If they're small, if it's a situation where it's like, it's something like this, I will take the whole thing because it's not very big, right? But if it's something like this, I'm not taking it, right? So I mean, in this case, if it was a candle like this, I would take like that only, right? I would not be into taking it like this to get the whole piece. It's just too big, right? But at the same time, you got to look at the top and say, do I want just the top in this one? You could, you could. I said a second, top put around 42. Okay, the next price, yeah. Okay. All right, so again, very, very small time frame, 20 minutes. So again, there are opportunities out there. I'm saying that a lot of stuff is sideways. If you go down the smaller time frame, guys, yes, you could find things, but you're going to have to be very, very active on there. Okay, got it. Been using the bottom of the wick, yes, as you say. Not the long wick. Not the long wick? The distal wick, I think is what you mean. Okay. All right, let's drop over to dollar CAD. Okay, dollar CAD had somewhat of a, again, 17, nothing too great. Let's have it load up here for us. Now, remember, guys, tomorrow obviously is Wednesday. Obviously, we have some oil play going into effect here. So this one, we had this top little zone, right? We ended up hitting the profit target, popping back up, and we were in this zone last night. I guess we were in there too. And we were talking about it. So this one, it did go a little bit higher the zone. If you took this short, you may have gotten stopped out of it. Again, what we were doing is we were looking for, a confirmation in here. And when you're looking across, and again, this is where that confirmation entry comes into play. Again, confirmation entries typically mean a little bit more risk, but it's a higher probability that it's going to move in your favor, okay? In looking at the level here, if you took this number one entry, what's a number one entry is as soon as it hits the zone, bam, you're in. It's fast. You're going to get the most entries, okay? But you're also a little bit more at risk, okay? So we had a red, we had a green that went all the way top, invalidated, right? A red, a green, and then the red closed up here, invalidated. We're still in the green, red, green phase, right? Here's a red, great. Oh, wait a second, the green closed above, right? Invalidated. Here's a red, here's a green, but it closed above. We have a red, green, red here, okay, which is actually at the bottom of the zone. Okay, so that is a possible entry that you could have got into, and would have given you about 12 pips risk. Okay, now again, right here, we had we've had a green, red, green. So technically, we're out, right? Because again, it reversed on us. Here was a red for a new high. Here's a green pullback, and then bam, there was another red. So there's another entry. So again, about at the same area. You may or may not have gotten stopped out here on this little top piece. And again, it can happen. It's a risk. You're talking about, and again, this is on a 30-minute chart. You're talking about 6 pips. I'm sorry, a 10-minute chart. So it's about 6 pips. So the buffer on this one is not 6. It's probably 2 to 3. So the chances are you probably got stopped out. But again, it's whether or not you found the good entry or didn't find the good entry on this one. Okay, depending on when you saw it. This first attempt, I mean, again, this one over here was about 3 o'clock in the morning. This was about 7:40 in the morning. Here's about 8:30 in the morning. Okay, so if you didn't wake up or start looking at charts till the U.S. Open, again, that would have been right here. And what is this? This happened at 10 o'clock in the morning. What happens at 10 o'clock a lot of times? Reversals. Okay, so again, sometimes you need to take the time of when something comes into effect as well. And again, it did its reversal. It's down now. From its high, it's down about 40 pips. Okay, but again, long, grindy, and still pretty slow. Again, racetrack over here as well to the downside. And again, that break would have been at what? Let's see. 133.09. Again, so just barely inside of the break. It's really consolidated. A lot of this now looks like it's really, really big, and it's really, really not that large. Like I said, for me on this one, this was a small 4-hour zone is about the best thing. And again, the entry into the area was great. I liked it. It was fast. It is looking like it's going to retrace. Again, this is one of those things where Nadex does kind of have the advantage. You don't really get stopped out when you have things on the top up here. Had we taken a weekly position, unfortunately, the weekly is going to be a little bit, the spread differential is going to be a little bit high. It just wouldn't have been great, unfortunately. It's just slow. Like I said, it's slow. There's nothing really else I can say. I do like this upper area a little bit more, so I'm not hesitant. I mean, if you miss this one, not necessarily as worried about it. I'm still looking more for this 133.75-ish area. I like this much better. It's on the daily. It's at the upper range. It peaked Very nice exit. Again, entries and exits are important. It shows a lot of power, a lot of movement. And that's typically where you see them. And again, who asked the question? Who asked that question? Josh. You see this? Fast entry, touch, fast exit. Fast entry, not as fast exit, right? Okay. Each time it hits it, it's going to go more. But that's where you see a lot of these retracements. They slam up because of news, very, very fast entry, hits a zone, and that's where they turn and flip. It's not this. I like the fast kind of entries versus a slow grind into the area because it eats orders up one at a time versus the fast. Oh my God. Because when it's fast, people can't react to it. It's all computers, and that's where big money is. Okay. Versus the slow thing. It's like, oh, if it breaks here, I'm going to get in. And they start trickling, and it kind of goes back and forth. Where when it's dropping, everyone's like, holy crap, it's dropping. Where's the bottom going to be? I don't know. And then big money steps in, and that's what kind of makes the bounces. Okay. Dollar yen. Come on, you can load. So my wife got this. I like tea a lot. Like I'll switch back and forth. Like I drink basically coffee all day, but I go in phases where I'm a coffee or a tea person. Um, she got me. I guess it's called it's fermented rice green tea, and it's kind of like it's like the rice you get at like a true like Japanese like sushi restaurant. And I've never seen it anywhere else. Like I can't read the bag, but I know that it's fermented rice green tea. And I thought it was the strangest stuff the first time I ever had it. And now I'm like totally addicted to it. All right, so a little bit of a pullback in this one, right? Again, very lazy pullback. And Josh, this is the perfect example. So yes, there are sellers up in here. Yes, there's a wick that's kind of messing up the analysis, but look, slow, and you guys can see it's like kind of a slow retracement back again, where we had this sharp kind of entry in. Again, news based. That's where the retrace comes from. Again, fast up, fast down, slow bend and turn around. Okay. So the entry matters. And again, it matters more for like again, this is zone look, pop up fast, exit fast. Definitely some sellers up in this area. So very, very interested of when price can get back up to here. It's not gonna be a while, but when price does reach that area, definitely gonna be looking at it. I drink fermented black tea from South China. Yeah, this is I think Japanese tea, but yeah, it's same thing. Fermented black tea and fermented rice tea is slightly different, but yeah, same idea. It's old and it tastes like dirt typically, but it's addicting. So that's the best way I can. It's earthy, right? It's earthy because it's fermented rice, but no alcohol content. Typically, we hear fermented and we're like, what is the proof? But it's not one of those things. All right, so technically, right now we are in an uptrend setup, right? It is green, it is outside, it is red, it pulled back. But do you see a great little buying area over here? Couldn't you look at this and say, "Yep, I'm all over that"? And the answer is no. I mean, even on the 30-minute, I mean, nothing I really like. I mean, yes, there's an area here that's probably the best little area, right? Shrinking this thing down again, here to, there. That's probably the best area that I have off of it. Again, that's going to the 30-minute. Okay, on the 4 hour, yeah, it's there, but it's not. I don't really love it. This is the best one right here. These two kind of picks up in the air. Where my profit target would be on this one would be somewhere sitting right here. I obviously did not trade this one. I was not around for this one. Something along those lines. Okay. And again, very small risk. Now, how big is the risk area? That's the other thing. I may be lying here. I may not have traded this one. No, it's valid. It's a seven pip, 6.5, 7 pip risk. Okay. Again, fair balance. I did not trade this one, guys. But again, this one would have a profit target of about 30, about 34. Okay. And again, your risk on the bottom would have been, oops. Hold on, I messed that up. Messed that one up. About 6. Okay. Did not trade this one. I'm not going to pretend that I traded this one. Again, downtrend setup situation. Red revised it. Only thing I see on here that's a pop. And again, I like this. I'm going to change this to a better. Try to make this. It's like the ugliest color. There you go. I like that much better than this. You may say, well, wait a second, Brian, there's a nice little pop over here too, right? I like this zone much better because it was actually moving. It did pull back and did pop, where this is a lot more sideways. So this would get a better rating score than this, even though this is 2 candles and this is 1 candle, Josh. We do drink tea in mason jars down here. Nice. Nice. I like it. Nice. So again, like this area better. Didn't like this one, so no, I wouldn't have gotten into an entry in that one. And you guys can see it hit the area and bounced, hit it again, and it's on its way up. And again, we're within what, 5 pips, 6 pips of hitting full profit target. And again, it's a 4-to-1, 5-to-1 risk to reward ratio trade. I don't think Cat Swiss will have much. And again, this is one of those secrets, guys. You can literally go through the charts and just look for those big kind of spikes and start looking at those as areas. Nice little pullback. I mean, slow pullback. Like I said, I would not be looking to sell this again. That's what the X is for if it hits this zone. We'll see where it goes to tomorrow. Like I said, with oil news, you will get a movement in this one as well. And again, it was so slow. It just ground slow. It did almost nothing in here. It's not really hitting off anything. So it's not, there's just no, this one is just kind of in no man's land right now. Let's look at CAD yen. Again, CAD yen can be a play that for tomorrow morning for the oil news. Nice little pop. I like this. I like how this is rallying. It is at a level that it's spent a lot of time basing. And again, this is the 30-minute candle, so it's a lot. This zone is not horrible. I don't hate this one. Okay, this little zone right here. Okay. I would have liked if the red wick was higher than the green. Okay, but I will take the fact that it did base and then it did kind of explode out. It is one of the larger candles on this screen. Bit of a zone there, and again, you always have this top section right here. I actually think I like the top one a little bit better, just because again, you guys can see it on the 4-hour. It's a single wick against a wall over here, and it's kind of hiding right there. Okay. Oh, it's the same area. I came right on top of it. Yeah, okay, so it's the same area. Cancel, we'll get rid of the blue. Look at that. So again, that wick against the wall just happens to be the exact kind of drawing that we did down here. So yes, not a bad little zone. I'll extend this to the side. Okay. And that is not a bad little sell area. Now, right now we do have right now this is technically, the open and close is the same. There's not really a coloration. There you go. It's a little bit red right now. So if you're ignoring this red action right now, the green is the anchor. The green is engulfed. Okay. So it is sideways with a downward biased. Okay. Not confirmed yet, but again, sideways with a downward biased. No trend. In this one, again, if we are going to ignore the action candle, go back to the anchor, which is the red. The red is technically engulfed by the 2 greens. Okay. But either way, this is the anchor. It's an anchor break to the top side. So again, waiting for it to pull up to the zone. The fact that it's moving at this kind of faster rate, I like this one for more of a short to the downside. The risk on this one, where is the button? You're talking about a 8 pip risk. I know that's a little bit out the top, but I also did not put it at the bottom. Looking for about an 8 pip risk. Profit target on this one would be, if it triggers, probably here. It's only about 33. So again, not huge movement in that one either, but a potential trade setup. Okay. All right. So with that being said, that's the last chart. Like I said, and there's not a whole lot going on. Again, slow week. I titled this week's thing is can the market go on vacation? And the answer is the currency market absolutely can go on vacation, because that's what we're seeing this week. Extremely flat across the board. At least we're getting some movement in the pound, but it's still not even close to its daily ATR. Most of the yen pairs, 14, 3, 26. Obviously there's just not a whole lot going on. So nothing you can do about that. We can't make the markets move. With that being said, so let's go over here. Again, this will end. I will pick the winner tomorrow to determine whether or not the euro. I wish I could change this now. Let me shrink this back. I don't think there's an edit function because I've already started it. No, I can't edit it. I don't know. Maybe I can. Let me see. No, I can't edit it. And then again, we have the giveaway right now. So I am going to close down the giveaway in 1 minute. Anybody that's on the channel, this is your last chance to do the hashtag ticket, and you will get. What did I say? Did I say 10 or did I say 20 today? I feel like we should do like, since you guys are doing all the betting, I feel like we should do like 25 today to be nice. I just feel that that would be a little bit more fair. Okay. Nope, it's not hashtag ticket. I'm sorry. I keep saying hashtag. I need to change it to that. No, it's exclamation point ticket. So if everybody wants to just type exclamation point ticket in again, just to make sure that you are in the contest, or if you see your name up on the screen, that works fine as well. I will close it down in about 30 seconds. I'm going to close it down at 1005 just to make sure that you guys have enough time. 20 lessons, Carl. Carl, if you win a second time, and again, you could, your name is on the list. I literally think Josh will rage quit. Everybody's like, oh God, I got to get in there. But yeah, I'm telling you, like, if Carl wins again, literally, I'm going to have to hear nothing but messages about it's rigged. It's like, oh, it's Carl. But I mean, he has just a little bit of chance as everybody else. And Ernest bought two, and, Q bought two. Second time, then it means it's fixed. Yeah, remember, you could, put some pip chips in there to get extra tickets. Yeah, so I'll do 25. We'll do 25 tonight for the winner. Because I thought I gave some to Carl yesterday, and I did. But maybe he used them. He came in and spent them behind the scenes. All right, closing it down. So let's see. Let's close the giveaway, and we will pick a winner right now. So let's draw. Ready? Give that little drum roll, and the winner is... Come on, draw the winner. Will. Ooh. Will had a 9% chance to win, and he is the winner of 25 pip chips. So let's go across. Let's find leaderboard, and let's find Will. Oh, man, look at this. Ooh. Ooh, we have a new leader. So we'll give him the 25 pip chips. We will hit submit, and there we go. We have a new leader. Man, walked in there and stole it. Stole it. Crazy. Crazy, crazy, crazy. That's the leaderboard. Can't believe that. I mean, I guess the one good thing, guys, is, you could say that, hey, it was not Carl tonight, because I think 2 nights in a row, Carl, they would have been all over you. It's fixed. Just kidding. No, it's not fixed. You saw it. I hit a button. That's why I'm bringing this over. This is my hidden dashboard right here. It's hidden. And that's what it said. I put 50 on that contest, so we shall see it come tomorrow. Yeah, Ryan's like, I'm going for the contest. Like I said, right now, guys, there is 135 pip chips in the barrel. And let's see. I mean, I can't see. Like I said, if it's below 111, these guys are going to make bank. These guys are going to get like 50 pip chips a piece. Yeah, they're gonna get like 40 to 50 pip chips a piece. I'm not salty. I'm not even in. You hit the button twice. I hit the button twice. What are you talking about? I can only hit it once. Where the heck am I on the leaderboard? Look at the bottom. Do you want to see where you're at? Josh, you're right here. You have 18 left. So what this is saying is if we ever go to Vegas as a group, right? If we do a training in Vegas, Josh is not allowed to come, and we want Will, because Will is not going to spend all the money. All right? We are good. But Josh is not allowed to hold the money. And where's Ryan? Ryan, I don't think you're allowed to hold the money either. You're down to 44. It's not horrible. But like I said, James was right behind, these guys. Oh, hell. KTS Vegas trip, baby. In-person training, 2 days. Supply and demand 1 day, Fibonacci the next day. You guys know you want it. I could totally talk Jack into that, by the way. A 2-day in-person learning class, like 6 hours a day. 1 day, nothing but supply and demand. 1 day, nothing but, fibs. Totally talk him into it. All right, guys, with that being said, I am going to bolt. I'm going to get out of here, and we will touch base tomorrow. Look at this thing rallying. This is almost hitting its full profit target. And right now, let's see if the above and below is in the lead. Come on, come on, come on. Load, load, load. Right now, it's at 111.04. Okay, 111.04. Getting ready to hit this small zone right here. So we will see. All right, guys. with that being said, I'm out of here. Have a great night. Trade oil in the morning. Hopefully, we will get some movement in there. That's what I'm going to be looking at because the currency market has been an absolute snoozer this week. And we will have Chart School, same time, same place tomorrow night. Take care, guys.